When he said he don't like country music and he had that little eyebrow up, I was like, okay, what he about to say? He about to say he likes some hip hop, some R&B. Look, I'm thinking of the only other option in my mind. And that man said EDM. I said, wait, hold up now. Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Married at First Sight, season 19, episodes 1 through 4. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. So let's get into these episodes. This is my first season ever watching Married at First Sight. I know you have watched some in the past. What were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like ever since Love is Blind came on, I really stopped watching Married at First Sight. It's a very similar concept, except they've never met. So there's no pause. There's no pre-getting to know. There's no choosing. But yeah, it was, the structure and the format seems the same besides the fact that they had older couples. That's something I've never seen. So I was surprised by that. Also surprised that they had 150, I think they said like 150,000 or 105,000 applicants, something around there.
I missed that.
Yeah, very high number.
So for me, it's interesting. It's like it's a cute little show. It's something I enjoy watching. I wouldn't say that it's so far better than Love is Blind, but also at the same time, I would say that these initial episodes are probably better than pod episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's kind of like awkward, and it's like the family's there.
Yeah.
And it's like you're going along with them for this journey, it feels like, because they literally don't know each other. And you're here for it all. So that's kind of a little bit more interesting. We're going to talk about the couples in just a second, one by one. But overall, before we go into them, who's your favorite couple?
Rhonda and Pat are my favorite couple.
Who's Rhonda and Pat?
The mom
and
no, not the mom. The mom is Belinda.
Folks? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, no. Rhonda and Pat, interesting. Is that my favorite couple? I would say yes as well. They are. And it's mainly because of her, but he also seems like, okay, he's coming along. I do think they have what it takes. So we'll just talk about them a little bit later. But on the opposite end of the spectrum is like Brittany and Will. Like, let's talk about them first. Because they had a lot going on.
Yes. I did not know what to make of their connection, because when the coaches were talking about them and they were kind of going back and forth between their interviews, I was like, okay, this is giving very like checklist. She was like, I want something intellectual. He was like, I need somebody, this and that. She was like, I need this. So it wasn't giving like it wasn't describing an experience to me. It was describing, these are just the things that I want to see. And I think in this type of experience, right, like even Love is Blind, sometimes when you just go based on these check boxes, you don't end up with what you want, because you're not thinking about like the feeling that you want to have. So I was like, well, maybe because of that they will align, but clearly they're not, because they're not thinking about how the other person is feeling. So it's like catching up to them. The other thing I will say, Will, I am like, Will, baby, rigid thinking. Everything to him is so matter of fact, exactly how I say it. When the daddy was asking about the religion and he went into his little spiel, and then when she talking about the rainforest could be on fire and you wouldn't care, and he brought up people rescuing and fire, whatever, and for us, I was like, I was just a little like, he's having difficulty clearly being able to like read the social cues. He's very rigid in his thinking. He takes everything very literal. And I'm just like, this is gonna cause issues, a lot of issues.
Yeah, it's giving for me like just a little bit of like, I know I read somewhere that Asperger's is not a diagnosis anymore or something like that. I don't know. But whatever Asperger's was supposed to be back in the day, that's what is giving. Just a little bit. Not like overly, just a little bit, because he seems intelligent.
Yeah.
He seems, like you said, though, very literal about everything. And then he also just seems not able to read social cues, read the room, even with her. Like with the family, you like these people are religious people. They ask you, do you, a simple no would have done it, bruh.
A
Like
simple
just keep it
no.
basic. Like I'm not super religious, but I do believe that there is something.
Yeah.
And then segue into your positives. Like
Right.
I believe in morality. I believe in treating people with kindness. So there's a lot of similarities in what I believe.
Yes.
It's just with the faith of just get
Anything.
into like
Anything, baby. That daddy was looking like. Okay, but what about your parents? Okay, but do your parents attend church? He kept trying to get to the bottom line, baby. Is Christ in your life? I literally saw my parents because I grew up in Christianity, not only Christianity, but Kojic. So when he was like, are they Baptists? Are they like them questions my daddy would have been asking, like, because to them, like there's differences, baby. Did you grow up Kojic? Yeah. Did you grow up Baptist? Like Pentecostal? Yeah. What was it, honey? So I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And to me, it was given like, okay, the Black experience is not a monolithic experience, but I definitely was like, he didn't have the Black church experience because he would have known how to answer that question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, for sure. And even like, I'm not someone who's grown up in like the church at all. And I have a very, very spiritual family, but we're not in any like organized religion or whatever. And so when I say like you talk about the tenets and the things that you believe that are, in line with because you got to get people calm. You get what I'm saying? But I have met people who will ask me like when they find out that I'm not Christian and like, okay, well, what do you, and it's like, I believe in this, I believe in that. And there's a lot of similarities, but you learn to put people at ease because once they get to know you, they recognize, oh, okay, you're a good person. Yeah. And that's really what people are looking for. I mean, obviously some people want to be like, is my baby going to meet you in heaven? Like they have very literal expectations. So there's that. And some people that they want you to be like specifically that. And then, that is what it is. But they're parents. They're not her. She gets to decide what it is for her life. And I don't know what. Did she talk about her faith that much? I didn't hear her say anything about her faith, and so I do wonder because I feel like the matchmakers would have made sure that was something that they connected on. It was an alignment, because that's such a big value, Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna try to say anything that I don't. I did initially when I saw him, I was like him. One of the other guys, they're a little like on the feminine side of how they operate. Yes. And I like I said before in him one of our Love Is Blind. Yes. It's given very like it gives questionable. I will say that. But I'm not one who 100% believes like mannerisms determine sexuality. Like I do think it's more about how you're raised, and you may just have, been raised around most of women, your mothers, you hear them saying, who child, and you saying stuff, you doing mannerisms like that because you got these little kids, being around a lot of women, Yeah, I don't know. I will say I don't remember too much of his background. I know his mama was there, so that could have been, what was happening there. Who knows? But who knows? But yeah, no, agreed, 100%. I had the same thoughts. I was like, that was I was like, it was one of the first couple thoughts that I had. And I didn't even, and it's interesting, I didn't notice that about Josh at first, but then after the reception, I got to the end of the episode, the reception, I was just like, these two cut from the same cloth, like because I noticed it immediately about him. And so I think there's interesting how we view across like racial lines what things we're able to tap in and pick up on, and sometimes or like just me, that could be a personal maybe I'm just not. No, I mean it's racial lines, but it's also too like probably what you've been exposed to more, right? Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. That's why I say it's maybe could be me because I have a very like there's a lot of African Americans in my life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But also too, we know our rules, right? Like everybody got their own like set of like rules or standards that like guide certain things or like certain perceptions. And so it's like we know ours being Black and living our Black experience. Like, I don't know what y'all do over there. I know. Like what is considered that or this because I don't know. It's not my lived experience. So it's like that's part of it too. You know? Yeah,
So it's
agree.
not a bad thing. It's just that's what we know. We are ignorant to the other experience. But I will
Absolutely.
say,
But that's what I was trying to say with like having grown up and just like being
yeah,
in
a predominantly
like my
Black
not that my high
environment.
school was hood, but it wasn't not
It was
hood.
Black. It was.
Yeah. Like let me.
I,
All right, but anywho,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, it was interesting though, like, cause like when I had that thought, right, and then like when he walked down the aisle and the friends was like, "Ooh, she gonna be all right, yes, honey." Like they was doing all the things to affirm that he looks good. The mama was like a sigh of relief, like my baby ain't gonna be with nobody ugly. And then I was thinking in my
Oh, I don't think I
head,
noticed that.
oh yeah, girl,
Go
I was
ahead.
like, look at this, but the Black girl was like the friends is on it, like, like they was
I
definitely
missed
like,
that.
yes, oh, she gonna be all right,
Okay.
like, yeah. But
Oh,
anywho,
you talking about when he?
when
Oh,
he
I thought
walked
you
down
were
the
saying when
aisle,
she walked down the aisles, his friends were saying that about
oh no,
her.
no, when
But
he
you're
walked down the
saying
aisle,
yes,
yes.
yes. No,
Yes,
I know what you're
yes.
saying.
So I was
I remember
thinking
that
in
part.
my head, are they going to pick up on the same mannerisms that we are
Yeah,
seeing as
yeah,
viewers,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
wondered about that even with her standing there when she first saw him cuz it's a very instant thing that you can kind of see
yeah,
the way he smiles, especially once they start speaking.
yeah.
And it's like when it's an
Mhm.
interesting thing. But let's talk about that little intimacy issue because like that circled back to me to that after
Yeah.
I was like I got kind of like, oh, they seem to be, vibing, da 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 da. Like it seems like it's a nice thing. Then it was like, oh, okay, maybe they're kind of like just taking it slow. Not vibing. Vibing is too strong of a word.
Yeah.
They seem to not have any issues.
Yeah.
And then that intimacy thing seemed to be like the biggest thing that they had one smaller issue before. I can't remember what it was, but the intimacy thing, that was where I was like, okay, the train is just off the tracks right now. So, and I don't know if they can recover, to be honest. I don't think this is going to end in a marriage,
Yeah.
like at all.
No, I don't think so either. I'm actually surprised that they even. It seems like they're gonna make it to decision day, and I'm actually surprised they're
Mhm.
gonna make it there.
Mm,
If the preview edit is what it's
mm,
given. But yeah, no, I actually am having a hard time understanding exactly what happened. Like neither one of them are communicating clearly what happened. I'm like, was it a
mhm.
uh-oh moment? Like is this like oh, we need to go get a plan B? Is it fear based? Like how did you like react to it? Because he's talking about your reaction is what made him say like let's slow down a little bit. Like what is it you're talking about? Well, no, actually, in this moment, I want you to come in closer, but also at the same time, you had a reaction. So it's like, what happened? Like, I am severely confused, quite honestly. Like, I don't get it. I
No.
don't get it. The one thing I do get is that they communicate on two different fields. Like, they are, like she said, in two
Yes.
different books, quite honestly.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
on the
I
op,
agree.
like, one got a black cover and one got a white cover. Like they are so
Yeah.
far from
Yeah.
each other,
Yeah.
quite honestly.
I agree.
But yeah, I did not
I
get that.
that I literally have that in my notes right here. I said, do not understand this first sex situation. Literally wrote that same thing. And I was like, I guess what I was gathering from her explanation is that maybe they did something that was a little unprotected and she started getting a bit more concerned or I don't know. And then he was just like, "Well, we don't have to do that." And that she sensed that as rejection
Yeah.
or something. And the fact that he raised like, "Oh, we don't have to do that," it kind of started taking me back to like I said, what was where is he with where is he?
Yeah, because
Because
taking it
with
off
the
the table.
sexuality, like
Yeah, taking it off.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
taking it
yeah,
off
because
the
I
table.
never
I wrote that like we're taking
yeah,
sex off the table because of the
yeah,
usually. But I do
yeah.
get her right. Like if something like that happens, like because I've had experiences right where, I'm like all right, like we gotta, and then that person might be like, oh, it's gonna be all right. Like we cool, we
Mhm.
good. Like there's like some
Yeah,
soothing that is usually involved,
yeah,
right? And so if
yeah.
that's not what happened, then she probably is like, wait a minute, hold up. Plus, now you're saying like we don't have to have sex anymore. it's a bit awkward.
Yeah. And then there's also like, I've never personally experienced this, but I remember somebody not arguing with me, but like, basically they were very adamant that like there is a thing as like people being asexual and not really having romantic or intimate feelings towards any particular sex at all. And I've not experienced that personally, I guess, because I am not asexual. But my thought on it was that it's like, could it just be that somebody's just going through a phase in their life where they're not they don't find people they're attracted to, they're not, really feeling aroused or anything like that. But with this, it made me circle back to that conversation I remember having with this person, and I'm like, what's like, it gave me like, I'm not sure, like, you know what I'm saying, like, is that a thing, and if that's a thing, like, is this something that's happening? Because I don't know, it's just a big question mark with him as to like what's going on. And I'm not saying in terms of his sexuality, I'm saying just general, it's just a question mark. It's like,
I mean, it is his sexuality. It may not be that he's gay, right? But it could also be like what you're saying, asexual. It could also be like maybe he's in a time in his life where, like anxiety, worry, or depression, or fear, whatever, like inhibits his ability to want to have sex. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
and nutrition, people be missing that one.
Yeah.
But nutrition will F it up,
Yeah.
Too much sugar on both parts, like women and men. It can mess it up.
Yeah,
so
but he
like,
definitely, the first night was like, I don't know, I'm a little tired, we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, all the other guys are like, whatever she wants to do is what I'm comfortable with. I'll just go at her pace. So he wasn't trying to like lean into it at all, it seems like. And so it could be that, could be like nervous energy. I have no idea. I will say though, she has not have been in a committed relationship, she said, in 10 years. And so I do wonder like how much of that is like coming into their experience potentially, and what she's like expecting or anticipating, because like she also has a hard time communicating exactly what she wants. Like I do in some moments understand where he's coming from, where it's like things are a little ambiguous and vague, right? And like she's not picking up on what he literally is saying, while he's picking up on what she is literally saying. And so they're not able to like get like at least even try to walk towards the middle. They're both fighting for their sides,
I agree.
But yeah,
I agree. Because there is something, there is something on her side. Like I'm with her. There's like a frustrating element to him. But there's something on her side that also is giving maybe exacting, like she has exacting standards, and she doesn't have a go with the flow element. That it's like, and he's there. It's like somebody gonna have to give a little bit of cushion to this relationship, and it's like she don't have a cushion to give. He don't have a cushion to give because he's so literal with everything, and it's just like they just keep bumping because there's just no cushion. There's no cushion.
And I think that's exactly what it is. Like she has like these she also has rigid expectations, I think, of how she wants to be treated, but she's not communicating them. I think she's just like expecting them to happen. Oh, you're my husband, so like inquire about these things. Oh, you're my husband, so like come follow me if I leave the room. Oh, you're my husband, so like sweep me off my feet, carry the conversation, do all the things. I think she's like expecting like kind of like that fairy tale feeling. And I am also gonna probably assume that, hearing how well some of the other couples are doing, especially like the first couple, Jaylen and Josh, and then at the very least Rhonda and Pat, right? And then you see like, what's her name? Belinda, she done got the ring, right? I'm sure all of those things are probably going through her head, where she's like, okay, these women are experiencing this in this relationship, and they're the exact same experience. So why can't Will just like step it up? So we shall see. I hate that the one black couple though ain't giving black love. That I do not like.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. It is unfortunate, and it takes me back to, like, what you said in the beginning about the check boxes, like, she and, like, the both of them, they are seeming like they checked off their boxes, but the substance and the soul and the spirit of what they want isn't there,
Mhm.
and I think that maybe this is just a leg in their dating journey, a little bit about, like, learning more about themselves
Yeah.
and, what they want. Because even with, Will speaking about, like, I don't know, I thought that because I don't care about certain things and I don't have a opinion about this or that, that'll make it easier for her, and it's just like, it doesn't though,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like this blank wall
Right.
of things, and you're not able to connect on something more substantive because you don't have a position. Like when I say, like, hey, I like Tom Brady, and you're like, I love Tom Brady too. It's like there's connection points. But when you're like, I like Tom Brady, and it's like, no, Michael Vick is my quarterback, and then somebody's like, the dog, whatever, abuser or whatever. And you're like, what? Like they came for him, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going too far. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you see that like you're on different sides of
Yeah.
like this
You
spectrum
just know where you
when
stand.
yeah, yeah. When you have an opinion and you have a stance about something, you're able to find the people who are similar in that space. And some
Yeah.
things matter and some things don't. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter about who your
But
favorite
even if you
quarterback
don't
is, but
agree on
like
the same things, even if they didn't come to the
yeah.
same conclusion, it's like at least I just know
Mhm.
this thing about you, right? But they're not able
Yeah.
to have those conversations because you're just like, all right. But we'll dive into a 10-minute soliloquy about Christianity and Catholicism. Like it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
um
No, it's interesting. I don't know what to say other than I'd be very shocked if they move forward together. And I will say also, even on the attraction piece, like the way they spoke about attraction with each other, I don't know if I believe them. Like, not saying that they don't think that the other is attractive. Whether they're attracted to the person though
yeah.
is a different thing.
I mean, they
And
might like what how each
yeah.
other looks. I think they do like find each other to be like handsome and beautiful. But
Mm,
I think because of all
not
of
like
this,
the
right? And there was an
insides.
initial awkwardness. Like even when they were doing the cheers and she chugging her drink and he was sipping it and he was like she was like, "Oh, we're doing that." He was like, "Yeah, I was just waiting for the reception." I don't know. Like it's just it was giving awkward from the start. Like they never
Mhm,
to me
mhm,
on this camera on these episodes have
mhm,
had a moment where I felt like, "Oh, okay, like they're cute. They're
mhm,
connecting. Like this is good." Like I don't feel any of that with them at all.
mhm. Agreed,
So,
agreed, agreed.
yeah, I feel like and that is a attraction killer. I could think that you're handsome, but I would never want to be with you because of everything else, right? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
No, I agree with that. I guess though, more so like when I was saying being attracted to them, it's just like, is that your like, okay, yep, this is my cup of tea, like
yeah,
type of thing. I'm not sure that that's what they gave. I think they just look at like, oh, this shell of this person is attractive, and
yeah, and
it's
it's it.
not a dud or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but
They
yeah,
seem.
anything else about them?
Yeah, I was
Oh
gonna say the
god.
last thing I have is like the ending. It just seems like they're in a power struggle moment. She's like, I want him to come down here. He's like, no, she needs to express and voice what she wants. I'm not just gonna assume right now she left the room, so I'm gonna
Mm,
assume you need space.
mm,
And it's like those things. It's like, yeah, this is not
mm.
y'all are finding reasons to be apart instead of finding reasons to
Yeah.
come together. And so I don't know if this is going to work. Like y'all are strangers and it's like this, it does
Yeah.
not give I think any motivation to try or like,
Yeah.
like there's no willingness
Yeah.
that is being seen in these situations. And they're like little situations, but they're becoming super super big because they are
Yeah.
into different and they're not trying to get in the same one. So I literally the last thing I
Yeah.
have for them is, boy, I
Mm.
cannot wait for them to meet with the coaches. They need to meet with the coaches because they do coach them
Ah.
through the season. They meet with them several
Oh,
times to
really?
have like couples therapy and things
Okay.
like that. So I was
Okay.
like, they need to get together. It's time, like now. um,
Yeah. That's interesting. When you were saying that, the thought that came to my head was that it's giving stubborn as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that it gives like it's not going to work, especially on his part.
Yes.
That stubborn. Like, I know I'm not a psychologist, but my dad is. And so I be trying to like assess these people. And I promise you, every person that I feel like, ooh, this person look like they got Asperger's, they act like him, and they be like the stubborn streak. So yeah. That's that. I don't have anything else I will say on them as a whole. I just don't think they're gonna make it, and that's probably for the best. But I also just think that there is work in there for both of them, not just him.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely, because she's seeming like she on the edge of just like cracking a little bit. Like I'm like, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Right.
No.
Right.
Bring it back in.
Yes.
Deep breathe. But yeah. But I feel her in many respects.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
just think that it's just probably not going to be something that works for them. So they probably could just, at least they didn't have sex. Oh no, they did.
They did. Yeah, they did. Everybody didn't crack the code.
I know. All right. So anything else on them before we move on to the next couple?
Nope. So let's get into the other couple that had hella communication issues, and that is Megan and Derek. Honey,
did you think they had communication issues? I feel like don't do that. I feel like they had communication issues at the end. They were giving very strong couple up until that paddleboard date.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Everything that was coming out of her mouth every single time she was in the confessional, well, they're not in the confessional room, confessional space, confessional air was given. I don't believe what's coming out of her mouth.
Really?
Yes, like
I
that
thought it was just a Botox. She just looks
maybe it is the Botox,
but
honey, but she's flat faced. I don't see any like emotion attached to the words. I think in the beginning, wedding night, morning after the wedding, it was giving cute plane ride. As soon as they touched down after that plane ride, to me, it was giving a little like they were starting to have.
You talking about the vacation?
Yeah, the vacation.
The honeymoon?
Yeah, the start of the honeymoon. No. It was giving like, okay, I don't know where she's at in this. But and it's not even that I don't think that she likes him or like can see a future with him. I think she is so in her head. Like she seems like a blank space because she is just ruminating over and over and over and over again. And I don't think, based on even like that last conversation, she is allowing herself to use what she knows about herself, because she even said it, I get in my head. She ain't trying to get out of it. She just put the blame. She backfiring the blame. I'm like, girl.
Yeah, no.
This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. But yeah, let's go from the
No, I was saying I can see how you can read that. That can be read as like she's not either sure about it or it's giving warning signs. I didn't look at it as that. I just looked at it as like, oh, she's relaxed.
Yeah.
And she's able to just like enjoy the time with him, because she was like, she didn't want to jump into like all the serious stuff in that moment. They had all that time. But at the same time, it's giving wall up, lack of vulnerability maybe, and it's like, this is more comfortable for us to just pretend that where everything is like, not pretend, but like just operate like it's all good.
Yep.
And it's not that it's not good, it's just that I'm not here, I don't know yet, and I'm just gonna not even dig to find out whether it is, you know.
Yeah, she seems like a runner for sure. Yeah, it's giving runner. It gives like funny. I'm super deep into my work, my day-to-day routine, and it just seemed like that's where she's at. I think she's probably a little overwhelmed with her work life. She said in the very beginning she does not have a good work-life balance. She said in the beginning she would be good in a culture that has arranged marriages. So she just seems like she just wants to be kind of like told what to do. And even when she had mentioned like she's okay with releasing control, I thought like you're not okay releasing control because you want your man to lead and you want to give him that space and to honor him and submit. You want your man to control because you seem like you're gonna be on the BlackBerry all day doing work You know what I'm saying? Like always in your head thinking about
That's
work,
funny.
thinking about closing a deal, thinking about this, thinking about that. It doesn't seem like you just want to honor your husband and him being the
Mhm.
leader of your household.
Mhm.
It wasn't giving that to me. And in that last
Mhm.
conversation they had, she was like, "Well, I don't think we know what each other does for work." It's like, girl, your brain is always there, and it's probably too much. It's probably way
Mhm.
too much. And he
Mhm.
seems very free spirited. He's like, I've traveled, I
Mhm.
lived all of these places, and da 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 da. And you would think something like that would work, but I can tell I don't think this is gonna end up being able to work because I think he wants somebody who enjoys being present. I think on paper it looks like it works because she's into like her health and wellness, and so is
Mhm.
he. She
Mhm.
does the ice baths, right? They're both
Mhm. Mhm.
entrepreneurs and things like that. They both got their own
Mhm.
money, and so it looks like it works, but it in spirit and soul, again, like it just does not
Mhm.
work.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I could see that. The one thing I would say is that also, like, attraction-wise, I think it works,
Yeah.
but you're right that I think that, like, there are some things that are gonna rise up at a point. One of the things that I noticed, like, in the beginning when they were talking about their compatibility, and she was saying she hadn't had sex in 2 years, but she'd like to have it every day. I don't know where they're gonna fall on that once they get into their day-to-day life, but I said, lady, if you ain't had sex in 2 years and you talking about you'd like to have it every day, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I just don't believe you. I don't think you understand what that actually means, okay?
She don't.
Okay?
She
I don't
don't.
think I don't think she gets what that means, and
Yeah.
I think that cuz he said he like it frequently, daily or something. Did he say that?
He said, I don't know if he said daily, but he did say frequently.
Yeah, I don't think, especially with her work life
Yeah.
and as exhausted, I don't think she recognizes what that actually is. Now, I may be wrong. It may never come up in this whole experiment, but it just something about it was giving you're being sexually naive right now, girl, because not you saying you ain't had sex in 2 years and you want it every day. No. No, you don't. You
Yeah, I
don't.
don't even think it's just a 2 years thing. I think it's the fact that she can't get out of her head. You gotta be out your head to have sex, baby. Um,
Oh yeah, no, that's real. But I think it's the 2 years thing personally. I mean, the thing about it is just like I think a lot of times people imagine what it is to do certain things and they think
mhm.
because that's their fantasy, it's reality.
Yeah.
And it's like real life is very different. So I just feel like the fact that she doesn't have sex. Like if she was someone who's like, I have sex very frequently in my relationships and I've just was like dying over the past 2 years, like then I'd believe her. But the fact that she's not mentioned, that she's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a little like, I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely
But
get you. I feel like this whole experience was like a fantasy thing to her, quite honestly. Like not even to be funny, but again, like girl, like
yeah.
you have not even like calculated how you're gonna slow down your life to get to know somebody.
Yeah.
And you can tell because again of that last I feel like that last conversation was just very telling of how this is gonna go. And I
Mm.
know it's just one, so I don't want to like overgeneralize that one conversation, but it was a lot happening in that one conversation on top of just everything that was happening before, even like her conversation with the ladies where she was like, well, I just feel like right
Mhm.
now it's supposed to just be like fun, and like why would we be diving in up because there's a ring on your finger, sis? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, dive in.
Yeah.
Like this is an
Yeah.
accelerated
And
process. You want to know who you're sleeping next
yes.
to every night. Like y'all
And
about
it's
to
like
move in
you're
together. Like y'all aren't dating. Y'all are married.
right. Yeah, and it's like also you about to go back into your regular life doing day-to-day, everyday
Yes.
things. You get what I'm saying? And it's gonna be exhausting, just like your regular life is. This is a break, a pause where
Right.
you can dive in
Mhm.
before you go back to the rat race. So
Yes.
it's giving lack of vulnerability. It's
Yeah.
giving something about
Mhm.
her is
There's a
just
block
like
there.
pop a man in here and let's keep moving, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I was gonna bring up the mom and the family. The mom was very
Mhm.
ice queen at the
Yes.
wedding.
I was like, "She
Um,
not feeling this."
she's
In
not
the
feeling
dressing
it.
room.
Yes, yes. And I said this on Love Is Blind, baby. don't be in my family expressing your opinions on the wedding day. Don't do that to me. Like, just don't. And I'm probably like that because I take what my family thinks like to heart. Like, if you say something, I'm going to ruminate on that thing. So I don't want to hear that shit on, especially not the day of. Like, don't. Like, you had 2 weeks to express this. Don't bring it up again, you know?
I wonder if that's a married at first sight sort of thing, right? Where they want like you to bring in the conversations for the filming because they're filling this one little moment, like bringing those conversations, or if that's just the mama, because the mama does give.
It's probably a little bit of both, but I'm gonna lean on it's the mama because the mama seems very opinionated, and it's nothing wrong with opinionated families. But I'm like, you're an opinionated family. The brother also didn't show up because he wasn't feeling it. He didn't believe in it. He said that he was he said he was private. So when you got that going on, the mama, ice queen, and y'all all work together, that is a bit much. It's giving enmeshed family. It's giving like no separation of church and state, and enmeshed families going into a marriage. Baby, that's like when you feel like you marrying everybody, and you do marry into a family, but like he is likely gonna feel like he is married to everybody because even she said the sister-in-law worked with the family business, so it's like this is a family thing, and that is a lot to take on. It's a lot to take on, especially because he seems like he has a very independent life, and so I am interested to see how this is going to go.
Yeah, no, I agree. And even with everything that the mother said, I wrote in my notes, she also had a lot of unreleased comments. I could tell she was biting her lip. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't even heard the tsunami of all her thoughts.
Okay.
Because
she might have been biting her
she was
arm.
Like,
but
you said what?
So she might have been biting her arm. like shut up.
Look. Yeah, because like when she was talking about walking herself down the aisle, she's like, I'm giving myself away. Like, I'm like, I was thinking to myself, like, what? Your mom could walk you down the aisle. And like, the mom was like she was just like, her expression was saying, I'm holding back some thoughts because the dad, I guess, was did you say he's going through surgery or
skin cancer or something? I was like,
skin cancer. Yeah, something. So it was a lot going on with all of that, and you know, she said she liked his family after.
Yeah, the mama.
She likes his mom and his dad. Yeah, and I'm like, his parents give, you know, like they
super cool, chill.
Could be people that are likable, especially the mom.
The mom did lean over and was like, I don't know which mom it was, but one of the moms was like, if they're together in 6 months, you know, you guys come up and visit. I'm not sure which mom said it.
I don't remember that.
But yeah, it seems like they got along. But yeah, child, I don't know about this one. I don't know. I will say, all these people giving, they making money, honey. Like, so nobody got to worry about finances. So I'm like, this is a good thing. Nobody got to worry about finances. So,
I did
excited
write
for
down
them for
first that I called them the money couple. Like I write down like different things with each couple, not like on purpose. It's just like I didn't catch the name, and I'm like the money couple, and so that's what I wrote down with them. But yeah, they seem very attracted to each other. Like that's the main thing I noticed with them. It's like it seems like that's her type. He, you know, that's my type. That's my type. Both of them, right? But they also had little differences, like the country music on her part, right? And he was just like, I don't, you know, his daddy looked like he listens to some country music with that hat and that little Kentucky Fried Chicken ass mustache. Like he listened to something, okay? And then the EDM listening that he does, electronic. I'm with her on that though.
Yeah, no,
I'm with her on that, girl. I'm like, what is that?
The friend was like, okay, it's like something you listen to on a Peloton bike. And she was like, or an acid trip. I was like, yeah, the second, the latter. But that was funny.
Definitely is a free spirit.
Yeah, he is a free spirit. Yeah, the EDM thing.
But this is what I'm about to say, like her giving him that doggone cold plunge bath. Remember I told you recently I went to one of these Korean day spas and I did a cold plunge bath and I could not stand it. I went in, dunked, got the fuck up out of that thing. 2 seconds later, Victoria said to me, it's like, you're supposed to do it for like at least a minute. I said, no. Like, no, there's no way. Like my shins felt like they were hurting, like my legs, like it's too cold. They felt like they were going to break. Like my bone
your
was going
body
to
settles in.
Girl.
Yeah. I've only done it once. I would actually love to do it again. It was I was like screaming when I got in. But like you learn how to like pace your breath. I did it like with the coach. So he was like literally like, once you hit the 30-second mark, you'll start to chill out. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. He like literally was like talking me through it, and I ended up chilling out. And then you get out and you have like this surge of energy. It's actually quite crazy that it works.
Yeah.
Now doing it daily, that to me is a little. When she said daily, I was like, she might be a little psychotic, because who wants to do that daily? I don't understand the daily thing. With that, maybe daily for like a certain time period, like a 30-day, reset. But child, she said she was obsessed with that thing, and so, girl, you might also be just an ice queen.
Okay. Get it from my mama. Like I could never. That's just one of the things that's not happening for me. I know that. But anywho,
wait. But when he said EDM, when he said he don't like country music, and he had that little eyebrow up, I was like, okay, what he about to say? He about to say he likes some hip hop, some R&B. Look, I'm thinking of the only other option in my mind. And that man said EDM. I said, wait, hold up now.
I did wonder. I was like, what is he about to say?
But he said it was such like, okay, hold, like, like hold your horses, like strap in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, child, look at me assuming. Assuming. Yeah. But yeah.
Any other thoughts on them?
No.
Before we okay. Well, let us jump into Jaylen and Josh. What were your thoughts?
He's diving in. He's diving in. He's diving in. I mean, that's like that's like my biggest overall thought is like he is ready to be married. I did write my first thing that I wrote about him was he cries at weddings. Green flag. So
that's interesting. Like he gives me like similar to
Will.
Similar to Will. Yeah. He gives me a lot of feminine energy, It also, I think sometimes that's what the ladies be looking for, you know what I mean? But his feminine energy is a little different. Like the way he carries it is very much like, I want to show up and be your dream guy.
Yeah.
Like that's how he shows up. And Will's just shows up and is just there. Yeah. And it's like he's still very much like rigid, like men can be. And so there's that masculine aspect. We didn't speak about that, but there is that masculine aspect of rigidity in him. And I think the difference with Josh is that he is kind of like, he's like, I want to be he's just like, I want to be your Prince Charming. And she's just kind of eating that up. And he got her a ring and it's just like, bam.
I love me a man who know the value of a ring, baby. Weigh that finger down.
Wait, so interesting down.
Yeah, I did think about you. I was like, Mariah don't want a ring.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, you gotta explain that to the people.
Yeah. Sorry,
me out there like I want to pick me. I just don't like jewelry. I don't like. I've never liked rings. I don't like them.
Overstimulating.
They make my fingers. Yes. Yeah. That's what it is. It's something.
Me, I want a ring, baby. I want a ring, and I love that. Josh and Jaylen's mom, Belinda's boo, Chad, got the rings. I thought that was cute. But Jaylen and Josh. Yeah, I think that they are in it for the long haul. I think their edit is screaming this is their successful couple, if any, this season. Because they're not really getting any, I don't even know if they're necessarily having any like challenging moments, but it's like all we're seeing is,
I mean, they had the posting up but it was
that wasn't a challenge. Was that a challenging moment?
I mean, I think that was a big thing, to bring up, but I didn't think it was like, I guess it wasn't a challenging moment that like is because of innately who they are. It's just like,
it's a big thing. Yeah. But I think like it works. She seems like somebody who probably would lean into the idea of a post-nup because I think in the beginning she was talking about how successful she was, and she's not this flashy type of person, but I don't know if did she mention that men are often intimidated by how much she makes? Am I mixing that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
But
I don't think I do either.
I don't remember that.
But it was giving that energy a little bit
I'm
when
like,
she
you
was
brought it
talking.
up.
Huh?
I'm like, you brought it up.
I can
I'm like, you
remember.
don't remember.
I'm going crazy. I didn't know, but it was just giving that. It seemed like that wasn't going to be when he brought it up. I was like, I get why it's a scary thing to bring up to somebody, like the hesitation he was having. But as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, she's going to be okay with this because she's financially stable herself. She's a realtor, cycle instructor. She got her life going on. So I think she'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they're very, very sweet and very bubbly, and they seem to find each other very attractive, and they just seem nice. And like this seems like this is the type of couple that this would work for.
Yeah.
The type of people, I guess, that this would work for. And I didn't have a lot of thoughts about them. It just seems like, it worked,
Yeah.
for them.
We'll definitely see, but I think the only hiccup I can like foresee potentially is all this stuff with his family. It seems like he has a lot of family trauma. Just met his dad at 30 years old. He didn't invite his mom to the wedding. It seems like he might have been raised by his grandmother. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there. And it seems like those experiences have shaped him into being a very gentle person, which is good, right? Like you want to see that. It seems like he is also good with his boundaries with his family, right? Like saying like I don't want my mother to be a part of this experience based on our past challenges that we have or whatever. He didn't go into detail, but I was like, okay, he has boundaries around this. Like this isn't something that he's like emotionally like torn with, where it might be something that's like, okay, are you self-regulated, have you worked through that, right? But it is just it'll just be interesting to see how those conversations come up, and what might be the impact on their relationship. I'm not sure. I'm gonna assume all good things based on how they are going so far, but we'll see.
Yeah, the one thing I was gonna bring up was this element of they do different things, like the Burning Man concert type of go out, and he wants to kind of like, I like to see her. I want her in, these elements that are really kind of uncomfortable for her. And I personally resonated with her approach to some of these things. It's like, I'm an outdoorsy girl to the extent of like, I'll do a little self-care walk. I like to be outside and be on the water. I like things like that. I like nature, right? I'm not let's just go thug it out in a tent. You know what I mean? I've been with men who are like that. Well, and it's cool. Like we'll do a camping trip here and there, but I can see how that can wear on somebody, especially if that person really wants you to participate in it. You know what I mean? It's like the person who wants you to watch that TV show that you don't want to watch. It's like if it's a if it's a thing for them, they really want you to enjoy it and experience it with them, and you don't want to even do it. I can see that just being a thing. Like, you know what I mean? I had a guy get upset at me one time about bowling. Like he was really into bowling, and he was just like, "You're not even trying." I'm like, "I don't like bowling." I'm just tossing the ball. I don't like it. Like, and it's like it can be kind of a problem in those sort of dynamics. So I wonder about that. But he also seems like he's not going to push too hard.
Yeah, I'm the person. I have been the person in the relationship that wants my person to like be involved in what I'm doing, especially because I am a hobby hoarder. I'm always picking up something new. I love novelty experiences. I love learning, and so I'm always like, come do this, come do this, come do this. But I have learned that like it's okay for me to have my separate hobbies, and hopefully that's something like possibly through this experience he will be able to learn or like adapt to, because it's like you guys together go find the hobbies that you enjoy doing together, but those things that make you individual people, like allow those to be your outlets where you go have a good time, do it with your friends. Like I think it's important that we don't lean on our partners to do everything with us and like just be fully involved. Like come home and tell me all about it, babe, but I'm not going out there with you. Like, and that's just it. And so hopefully, maybe with the help of the coaches, they'll be able to get there, because she did kind of raise it like, want to be doing all of this, and like,
and I felt her. I was like, there's a part of your soul that doesn't want to be doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like those little outdoorsy things. It's like, I'm not that person. And I felt her on the gecko. Like, he was like, I will lovingly let the gecko live with whatever he said, like coincide with. It's like,
nah,
get that thing gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like the nature of it, you know? Like, I like the nature. Look at me, kumbaya, tree hugging, but
until it's crawling on her.
Yes. So it's like, I cannot. I think that, like, me particularly, I was like, there's something that could potentially be a problem here if he's like,
his expectations,
really needs her to do that with her.
Yeah,
with
agreed.
him. And it's just like, some things I just don't. And it just goes into lifestyle. Like, how do you want to live? Like, if you're trying to do all these experiences that are not necessarily Burning Man, I guess it's once a year or whenever it is, but like Burning Man asks, they're like, okay, we're gonna do a Tough Mudder, and it's like, I want you to do it with me, babe, those type of guys. And it's like, I'm not
the Tough Mudder.
I don't. I've had guys be like, let's do it. And I'm like, for what? Like, you're the one that wanted, there was a marathon happening, and you were like, oh, I want to do that. And I'm like, that could never, like, a person who wants me to do a marathon with them, like, you're going to have a solo dream, my dear. Like, I cannot. That's never, I do not see, I will be shocked if I could fast forward to the end of my life and I've done a marathon. I'd be shocked. Just the same with them cold plunges. I'd be shocked. And so there's just certain things, like with what's her name? What's Megan? If a person who would be trying to get me to do a cold plunge, this is like, that's not happening. You don't have to enjoy the cold plunges by yourself. Is that okay? And if that's not okay, then they might have some bigger issues. So we'll see. But they don't have a lot of issues. Yeah,
they don't. I would say. I just hope, because I have been that person, like, and I just like had to just come to the conclusion, because I am so like, let's do it. I don't like things crawling on me either, so I don't want to get going, nothing in the room. But I am always about like something new, trying something, going somewhere. Like my boyfriend now, he's like, you want to go to Japan? Like, that's a how many hour flight? No, and I'd be like so irritated, but it's like, okay, I'm just have to go by myself or go with the people that I have in my life who like to travel. And it doesn't mean that now my life is it can't look the way that I want it, because my partner doesn't want to do those things. So yeah, he's just gonna have to learn, point blank period. It seems like they are good for each other, so I would hope something like that would not deter them. But we shall see. It's very early days. Even me saying that they're good for each other, we really don't know, because it's been like 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, that rock, I was like, yeah, tell me you love me, baby. Tell me you love me. But yeah, should we go ahead and move into her mom, Belinda, and her partner, Chad? I thought this was a very interesting little mix up here, on the phone while she's getting her, you're going to be on Married at First Sight. Well, my mom is single. Okay, well, let's, match her with somebody. Okay. Okay, mommy daughter doing it together, I guess. Very awkward to me. I don't know if I would want to sit there and hear experiences of my mother having sex, learning about a new man. None of that. I'm like, girl.
No, that's very real. I mean, it's nice that she was like, I love that for her. But yeah, it is very like, it's like, don't need to hear it. What do you think about her partner? What is his name? Chad. Yes, Chad. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. But yeah, at first I didn't like him.
Yeah.
And then I started liking him.
Yeah, same.
I like, very interesting.
Yeah. He said like he had been married 4 times. He was just only single for 3 years, which I mean isn't terrible, right? But are you 3 years single from a marriage? And your 3rd marriage? Like, what's going on here? He said that he tends to date people who need fixing, and he's always trying to jump in. So it was just giving a little bit of like savior energy. And I was wondering if that was kind of slipping in, because he seems like he also is just like ready to spend money. He's like, first the hats, and then like, let's just dive on in. And here's the ring. And this is the ring for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yep.
It was a nice ring already, but the ring for now, and
Yeah,
then we can go
yeah,
ahead and upgrade you,
yeah,
baby. So
yeah.
I am wondering if that is how he is used to getting
Showing
his
his love.
female attention and connecting with
Mm,
somebody, and I'm hoping he
mm,
can like chill that out, because I'm like, baby,
mm.
that's not going to be everything, you know. um
Yeah.
Especially to a woman who's been doing it on her own for a very long time. So we shall
Yeah,
see.
I didn't realize she was so young.
Yeah.
Like, because it's interesting, like, I wasn't even thinking about her being the mom,
Yeah,
initially.
me
Like, I
either.
wasn't thinking about her age or what she was, right? But I was watching it with someone, and then they were like, "This is her mother? She looks so young." And I'm like, well, I guess she does look,
Yeah.
young or whatever. And I didn't think about that. And then it wasn't until she did her story when she was 47, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow. Okay, you are young."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's like also the gray hair uh makes you just not question like or think about what her age is,
Yeah.
because she has children, she's got gray hair, she just looks nice. But to see that she's actually 47, I was like, oh, she
Mm.
is that's relatively young. I don't know how old is he, Chad?
I
Because he
don't
doesn't
know. I
look
know he's older
47.
though, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely giving older. But yeah, she's been married, 20 years. That's a long
Yeah.
time. So it's an interesting experience. She gives me, I'm not out of my shell just yet.
Yeah.
And he gives me very, very much, I'm a ham,
Yeah.
like
No.
I'm a ham, I'm on stage.
Literally.
And so it's interesting, their
Yeah.
dynamic. I think it could work. It doesn't mean it. I don't even have like it could work and then it could not
Yeah.
work. I
Agreed.
don't have any,
Agreed. I am a little
I
like
don't fall one way or the other yet.
will he dip into the whole like and I don't want to put this on him like as if it's something that's like clear as day, but I was wondering
Mm-hmm.
like, is he kind of like the love bombing type again, like with the money, and then
Mhm,
like his
mhm.
vows were so good. I think he had the best vows out of
Yes.
everybody, and I was like, this man is used to
That's
saying
what
vows.
sold me.
He has been married 3 times. He know how to say a vow, baby. He know how to say a vow.
Yeah. That is what actually got me, like, I wrote down in my notes, these vows, they actually are what made me twist on him, because my very first notes about him was that I actually don't like him on first meet. And I was like, he has this Dr. Phil type voice,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
was just like, I'm not here for it. And then also I was like, this idea that like, one, he's been married. I thought he said he'd been married 4 times, but I
No,
guess
he
this
was
will
saying
be
this is
his
gonna be my
fourth
fourth marriage.
marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. It was giving stubborn man, because why aren't, if
Yeah.
there this many women had decided to leave you, because you gotta push a woman. That's our problem sometimes as women. Like, we stay too long. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Or he the
push
one
a
saying
woman
he
most of
wants
the
a
time.
divorce.
Oh, no, I guess it could be that, but I don't
He said
know.
they were
It's
all great
giving.
women, but it just like didn't work out. I took it as he was the one
Okay.
issuing the divorce
He was the
papers.
one leaving.
Especially when he talking about something he
Maybe.
tending to date people who need fixing. It's like, baby, I can't fix you. Break. Bye. Like that's what it was
Yeah,
given.
yeah. No. You're right about that. I wasn't thinking about that. But yeah, I think for him, it's still giving stubborn man.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what way you cut it, it's something about it is giving stubborn. And then or rigid or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you mix in that military piece, it's like, I ain't never met
Yeah.
a military man that is not rigid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. I'm just not. And it just, you have to be limber
Yeah.
for a relationship to
Mm-hmm.
work, let alone a marriage. You have to be limber for these things to work. And it's giving, I have a lot of charm,
Yeah.
but I have not quite worked on maybe the things. Even when his daughter asked him, like, what have you learned from these marriages that you're he didn't give any good,
Yeah.
like, self-reflective thoughts
Yeah.
back to her,
Well, he already thought he was in the
So,
superior position because he's dating people that he feels like he has to fix. So it's hard to self reflect when you're constantly taking on that role in a relationship, right? And you're constantly pointing the finger at somebody and what they need to do. You can't. There's no way. If I already feel like I'm superior to you, if you tell me something about myself, it's not a mirror reflecting back to me. It's no, you don't know what you're talking about, you know?
Because your lens, you're looking through dirty lenses.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But he does have a good sense of humor, I will say. When they were he had a few jokes in there that I was like, ha ha ha, okay. Yeah, you funny.
Yeah, no.
You're funny. But yeah, we'll see how they do. It looks like Belinda's ex, which is Jaylen's daddy, he was cheating. So I was like, I wonder, if that was her last relationship, again, how is that going to come into this situation? Attraction was something that she seemed like she was worried about, not only for herself but also her daughter, because that was like the first thing that we saw, at least, that she asked Josh about her daughter. Was like, are you attracted to her? And so I wonder if that was part of the cheating with her dad.
Yeah. And then even also Jaylen, is that her name, Jaylen?
The daughter or Belinda?
The daughter.
Oh, Jaylen. Yeah. Jaylen, the daughter. Yeah, she also asked that.
And yeah, she also asked that question. And so that's a thing.
Yeah.
I see, like, you picking up on that. That's a thing for them. But he seemed interested in her, attracted to her. Like, at first, like, when he was just like, she's a pretty lady. Like, and I was like, I need more. I need like, because one thing Derek did very well is he was just like, she's just the big eyes, big, beautiful eyes, gorgeous skin, 10 out of 10. Like, he was giving it. Like, he didn't give it to her, but he gave it to us.
Yes.
You know, I don't know what he said to her, but I know that from, as a viewer, I was like, okay, he's attracted to her. And initially I wasn't clear on that with Chad, but as we started going further, I was like, oh yeah, he's attracted to her. He's definitely, I think he thinks she's beautiful. He kept talking about her eyes, and he was like, her eyes, window to the soul, or something he said, and that's just, he said beautiful. He said something to her kids about her eyes, and I was just like, very piercing, that statement. Like, he knows how to charm. That's the thing, because I started off saying I didn't like him, and for him to, at the vows, just the way he said it with conviction, looking at her in her eyes, I was like, this is a man here, okay?
He said, I vow to protect and to provide, and with God, anything is possible. I was like,
I know. He said that's the end. He's like, enough.
And let me do this for memory. I was like, memory from which wedding? Now let me stop.
That's funny. We'll see what happens with them, but I think that if anything goes wrong here in terms of, like, them not being able to connect, it's literally would just be their personalities are not just, that fit wasn't an actual fit in reality as it was on paper type of thing. Or he just hasn't grown enough and is not able to self-reflect, and really he's just bringing the same thing into this next marriage. And it's like, at what point will you be like, it's me?
Literally, she's gonna have to bring her walls down too a little bit. And I think
I agree.
I think it was his sister that told her at the wedding, like, you're gonna have to, peel back the funny and chip away and all that. And I was thinking, like, that's not her responsibility. He's supposed to be able to have worked through all of that. She was like, he's been through a lot. I'm like, don't come over here babying your brother. He needs to take responsibility for where he is in his life and why his relationships have not worked out. And so hopefully that's not what he is looking for, because I'm like, you need to do that work on your own. Those marriages failed because you were in them, not because of just happenstance. Like, you need to do the work. But yeah.
Anything else on them?
No.
Nothing else. Well, let's get into our top couple. This is Rhonda and Pat. And so let's chit chat about them.
Let me tell you, when they got on the screen and Rhonda was talking about how, like, fun she is, and you can, like, really pick that up in her spirit, and then Pat is like, I just want to have a good time, X, Y, and Z. I was like, they are giving. I watched this latest season of Bachelor in Paradise. Well, some of it, not all of it. And when the Goldens arrived, baby, the party arrived. Like, you could, like, them old folks it was like they was teenage horn buckets ready to go. Like,
I cannot. I really cannot. And it's like this is where we're headed though. It's like it's so weird for me to like contemplate like cuz whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
But I
it's like
think
when you get to that age, you're empty nesters, like you've arrived, right? And you're like, my life now is back to just being mine. I don't necessarily have to worry about my kids so much, and so
yeah.
I don't know. The free spirit, it's very much
And
so in line with how the Golden showed up at Bachelor in
showed up
Paradise.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they was doing
I was
body
going to say
shots and everything.
I think death also has a part to do with
Yeah,
that, like, the fact that they could be closer to it, even though any of us could be, God forbid, but, like, any of us could be closer to it than, it doesn't mean that just because you're older, but I think that that gives them this new lease on life that they feel like they want to experience it all. Because I even noticed that a little bit in, the other older couple, the mom and I can't remember Chad, was
yeah,
it? Yeah,
Belinda and
Chad.
Chad. Yeah,
Yeah, and Chad seems older. I can't even remember how old Chad was, but Chad seems older than her, Belinda. And so in him, he's kind of got this like, yep, let's get it going type of thing. She's a little bit more reserved, but he seems very, very, very open to experiencing life. But yeah, I like that about them. I love their communication. Like when Rhonda brought up the fact that she didn't feel like he was communicating, like asking her questions and all these different things like that. I like that. And it just made me the fact that they were able to address it and get over that hump. It's like it made me see that they're like bonded even more, and especially like the tree experience and
yeah,
the spiritual. I love me some spiritual,
yes,
respecting, just spirit, respecting the spirit of Mother Nature, all these different things. So I like that,
yeah.
and I think they have a lot going on that makes me feel like it's real.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in them. I think it's such a contrast, right? That Pat was married for so long and he was like
Mhm.
committed to being in his marriage to do it for the
Mhm.
kids, blah blah blah, which I don't think is a bad thing. I actually think it takes a lot of courage to stay in a marriage where you're unsatisfied, still be faithful, but like try and keep that family unit together.
Mhm.
I think you
Mhm.
see it happening more, with women, where they seem like
Mhm.
to be the ones where they might be. At least, let me not say it happens more. I feel like I have heard
Mhm.
it more, and probably because I am a woman,
Mhm.
I hear more women
Mhm.
perspective on marriage. But usually you hear that, not usually. Look at me saying it again. I have heard typically that it is the wife in the situation that seems like or feels like she might be settling and like staying for
Mhm.
her kids. And so to hear him say
Mhm.
that, I was like, okay, he's clearly like very commitment minded.
Mhm.
He didn't want to get a divorce. And so
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like with her, she said, like, I haven't been married for 25 years. She didn't want the unsatisfying marriage, so she got out. She said, I didn't want a fifth child, right? Which is something you also hear women say. And so I was like, okay, this is a nice contrast to see how this is going to play out. Somebody who has learned to have to be like overly independent, do everything on her own versus the person who decided to stay in the marriage for
Mhm.
that long despite the lack of satisfaction that they were giving. So that they were getting. So I am excited to see how they navigate just their past experiences through this, especially at their
Mhm.
age.
Yeah, I definitely see them, hopefully making it or whatever. There was though that preview where Pat was like something 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 and you're mean and you're this or something. I don't know what he said. But do you remember that
I
preview
didn't see that, but I
at
did
the
see
end of
the
episode
preview
1?
where she said, man, that marriage really messed him up or something like that. I did see
Well,
that.
the preview came at the end of episode 1 and he had some not nice words to say. I can't even remember. I should have gone back and watched it. But he had some not nice words to say. Like there's some more is going to bubble up with
Yeah.
them because he had some not nice words to say to her And I cannot remember what it was, but it's it's all out of context because it's just the flash forwards of like, and you don't know who he's with. You don't even know who he is when he said it. I just remember it was like an old guy with white hair, and so that was him.
Yeah.
Unless it was somebody else. And
when I was watching
maybe a family member.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But when I was watching the previews after the first episode, I didn't know that there were going to be older people in the experience. Like it like had not dawned on me yet. So I wasn't. I thought this was like parents or something talking. So I didn't really like connect the dots. I was like, I don't know who these people are. Because in the first episode we had, what was it?
And maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it was somebody's parent. You know, maybe it was somebody's parent, and I just referred back to it thinking it was Pat, but I thought it was Pat. But anyway, but yeah, I don't. I everything about them seems really, really nice and really, really sweet. And they seem to be enjoying each other the most from just the moment. Day zero, moment zero. Her dress was amazing. She's a very beautiful woman.
Yeah, like she is.
You think, very, very beautiful. But yeah, her dress, I thought it was really great. Not just the color, but the cut of it on her leg. Like I was just like, that's
yeah. I didn't like the purple with the red. I was a little confused with that. Like her kids all had on purple. She had the purple headpiece on. Yeah. Wasn't really feeling that, but I was like, clearly she has a very quirky vibe. Her kids all seem a little on the quirky side. So I was like, okay, it kind of goes very, theater kid. That's what I get from their the family. Theater kid, hippie vibe. So I was like, okay, it goes.
One of them had a ponytail.
Right. Yes. I did love his ponytail though. I did like the way he had it up. It was like off to the side. I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute, little white boy. But just like some things that kind of like stuck out with Pat when it was like the little interviews in the beginning when we were getting introduced to him. He was like, dating on apps is like the thrift store. You're looking for the least broken thing that doesn't smell. I was like, okay, red flag. I did not like that he said that. So I was already like ick from him in the very, very beginning. And then seeing Rhonda with all of this bubbly energy, I was like, she's going to be too fun for him. She's going to be too fun. I don't know. Huh?
Yeah. I thought that at first as well.
Yeah. So, I didn't have faith, but it seems like they are at least in these episodes, they are turning a leaf. And then, when she was telling him about the communication and he at first like got really defensive, I love how she was like, I'm not criticizing you and you're being defensive about it. I'm just letting you know this is something that I need. I was like, that is a beautiful way of just like redirecting that energy and like just putting a block to like, let's not go back and forth in the tit for tat because that's not what this is. Like, I don't need you to tell me what you feel like you've been doing. What I'm saying is I feel like you haven't, and here are some things or some ways that you can do. And I love how she course corrected when she brought up like, I used to go by Jennifer as a kid or whatever, and he brought it back to himself, and she was like, I'm gonna stop you there because you kind of just did it. Like, this is an example, a real life example of you doing what I do not like. I thought that was great.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I also like, because I admired it. I admired it. Excuse me. But yeah, I admired that. I felt like that, especially as a person who doesn't do that so well. But one of the things that I picked up on that she is doing in those moments is she is literally like able to read the situation in real time, you know what I mean? And recalculate and then also speak it and then stay grounded in what she's trying to say about it. And so I thought that was great. I also want to say that Pat was very receptive because like there are times that sometimes what doesn't work is that the other person literally is just not receptive also. And so there's no way, like all of what she was saying would have just frustrated him even further.
Just in line with what you were saying, like it works because he brought it back up the next day when they had the little tree touching moment. And he was like, when I see you, I just thought back to the words that you were saying that like, I was not seeing you in this moment. Then they told each other they love each other. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah. I like them. I think they're very, very sweet. And I think it's something about their age that it's just like they are cutting through the shit.
Yeah.
And they've learned enough that they're able to really just hit the ground running. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like all of these couples are hitting the ground running per se. And I think they are. So
yeah, which is the point of this type of experience, right? Like,
yeah. Anything else on Pat and Rhonda?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, overall thoughts, anything like that you have or predictions for the next couple episodes, because it's giving definitely, like we already discussed, some people ain't gonna make it, probably one person.
Yeah, I don't know, quite honestly.
One group, one couple.
Yeah. We know for sure Brittany and Will ain't making it, because they, I mean, they had a lot of it seemed like tumultuous moments even through the previews.
Yeah.
You brought up that thing about Pat saying a lot of like mean things or thinking of it's Pat, so we're not sure. But I mean,
I don't know. I want mean as though harsh.
Yeah,
so it was serious. Like it wasn't. Okay. He said something like not serious, but like he said something like "You're always this," or I don't like. It's something he didn't like. He didn't like.
Yeah. So we just have to see. I'm not sure. The only people I feel like are like 100% yes to me right now is Jaylen and Josh. Yeah, and even that it's like a 60%, because I don't know how much like this whole activity thing. I don't know if this Burning Man concert is during the filming, but I need to see it if it is, because baby, if she get out there and she like I want to go home and he like we can't leave and he don't give that up, I can already see that's gonna be a problem, because it's like no, you're too stuck in this, and I don't know why he bought that girl a ticket before knowing whether or not she want to go.
Yeah, because it's giving. Because sometimes I wonder with some of these types of shows, like, or Married at First Sight specifically, I wonder if like folks are just being too uncompromising about how they live their life or what they want, that they are finding it difficult to partner, because to partner you do have to, it's a three-legged potato sack race, and you do have to operate a little bit to the beat of a combined drama. It's not take yourself out of your own what you want for your life, but it's also live your vision with someone else, and it has to just align, it has to work. And so I wonder with that ticket, like you saying like, oh, he got her this ticket, he don't even know what, it's just like a little bit of it is just like, this is the life I want to live. Right. So hop in, add person and stir. Right. And it seems like there's some of that going around on this season of, or like Married at First Sight. But like I've only seen the show this one time. So, you know, it could happen on all the seasons. But
they've had some successful couples for sure. I do think the difference though, like with Love is Blind, because it's a very similar experience, but because they have that time in the pod, they can talk about like what things look like, right? And so you kind of have a sense of some of the things that you might be compromising or you need to like think about a little bit deeper, versus this, like you're jumping right into it and then figuring it out along the way. And so
and the big difference is like this idea that like you're still choosing this process of in Love is Blind, you know?
Or you're choosing the person
forward. Yeah, you're choosing the person. You're choosing to step forward, and you know there is a level of like attraction that is there's something natural about it, even though people are saying like it's not natural to not know the person or see them. There's something natural about it because you are connecting with their energy, you know? And it just, the final test is, do you also connect with their physical, you know, looks? Here, it's not that. Like, you don't have any connection. Like, you're just literally there's nothing to build off of. You're trying to build everything. So I can see a format like that working a little bit better, because we are directing it. I'm walking towards something I find attractive, as opposed to like strangers, even though they're experts, they say, I mean, not they say, but they're experts in various ways, choosing this for you. They don't know you, you know? And, you know, so it's I think it's a less helpful structure.
Yeah. Well, I think the
To
good thing
make it
about Married at First
successful,
Sight is
but
that they
yeah.
get the couples therapy along the way. I
That
think that
that
is
is
something that would be
wonderful.
great if that was implemented in Love is Blind.
And Love
And
is
I feel
Blind,
like it would
hell yeah.
increase their success rate if it was
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. And so I feel like they
Now,
both
I
have
will
two things that are very key, I think, in the process
yeah.
of going through something
Yeah.
like this, that if they like combined it, they really would have like a really good formula. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to say, I will say Love is Blind seems to have a little bit stronger of a percentage rate. Basically, she said 11 marriages, I think, at the beginning, and they've had 19
Seasons,
seasons.
yeah.
Like, that's kind of
Yeah, that's
like
not a great
just above 50%.
yeah.
But if I did the math right on like the marriages for Love is Blind, not counting this season, well, there were no marriages this
Yeah.
season, but it was like around, I think,
Yeah,
62%
it was
was
still
their
pretty high.
percentage.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And I'm like, that's better than the average.
Yeah.
So people shit on Love is Blind, but it's like, that's
Yeah,
better
it's
than the
not it's
average.
not
So,
it's not terrible.
and even Married at First Sight is not, I mean, I guess it's like the average, I guess.
Yeah.
But either way,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else on this?
Yeah, the only other thing I had to say was Brittany's mom was absolutely beautiful. Like, she looked like a baby doll to me. I like every time she's on the screen, I was like, she's so cute. Like, she's just so
A
cute.
porcelain doll.
But yeah, that was my last thought.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next week.
Yes.
A new drop of episodes comes next Thursday. We'll try to have an episode up by the weekend. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell and comment. Let us know your thoughts. Like, did you agree, disagree? Do you have any favorite couples or couples you just don't think are going to make it? Let us know in the comments. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.